Hello and welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja Trivedi, and today we are going to discuss about what are the challenges that remain in the evacuation of thousands of students in Ukraine, which are Indian nationals. This topic is very important from the perspective of prelims and also from the perspective of GS mains paper second. So let's begin with the different topics that we are going to cover. These are the many topics that we are going to discuss, and we are discussing this because, of course, a very sad news came which was dreaded by the Indian government since 6 to 7 days in the war. We lost a student of Indian origin in shelling near Kharkiv. Now, this is a very saddening news because this puts question on the kind of evacuation procedure that India is following. Also, what about the security of other nationals who have nothing to do with this war? Now, one thing that we have to keep in mind very clear, here we are bureaucrats. We are not going to think from any political point of view, but from a bureaucrat's point of view. Because tomorrow, if we talk about you all, you must be clearing this exam, you will be a part of the government. You cannot always blame some person or the other, but you have to be solution oriented. So this is a very emotional situation for anybody who is going through the phase. For Ukrainians, it's unimaginable. For Indians who have actually nothing to do with the war, for them it's kind of very stressing up. This is the last phone call which was recorded between Naveen SG, the passed away student, and his father. Just look at the amount of faith he had in being an Indian, that if you have a flag, an Indian flag, you can hang it up outside your building for them to know that you are Indian. Now, according to the sources, it's not very clear, but some people say from the government sources it's being said that it is allegedly in shelling. The classmate, according to Indian Express, has said that Russian soldiers did shoot certain people who were standing out in a line for groceries. Very, indeed, it's a very saddening, very tense, very intense situation. Let's move forward and talk about why, first of all, why do Indian students go to Ukraine for medicine? Because most of them, the students that are in Ukraine, they have gone to study medicine. And according to data, 18,095 Indian students in India, to Ukraine. They were recorded in the year 2020 to study medicine, and 24% of its overseas students were from India. Okay, so Ukraine ranks 4th. Remember, Ukraine ranks 4th in the Europe when we talk about students getting into medicine for graduation and post-graduation courses. Why is it? Because first of all, we talk from India perspective, where it costs over like about 1 crore, around 1 crore to study medicine. In Ukraine, it's just 30 to 35 lakhs. Another thing, there is no entrance exam for getting into the field of medicine in Ukraine, where here we have NEET. Then English is a medium of instruction, which makes it very lucrative for the students not to learn, who do not want to learn any other language for studying medicine. Then there is also WHO recognition. So it is because it has a recognition of World Health Organization, then there is not a problem. Again, if we talk about if they want to practice in India, they can take foreign medical graduates exam to get a license to practice medicine in India. So all in all, very good, very lucrative for those people who cannot afford and those people who couldn't clear because of certain policies. So that is why people go there to study medicines. Most of the students go there for studying medicine, very lucrative. In order to make sure that the students get back safe and sound to India, the government in the initial days of this war, when it started, the Prime Minister did talk to the Russian President about the situation, briefed him about the importance of Indian students who are studying in Ukraine. Yet it is very difficult because, of course, however good the circumstances are between two countries, but whenever war kind of situation exists, the president cannot control everything on the ground. It's all on the soldiers. So what do they have to do? They have to just do their own job that they are doing. It's a very saddening situation. So Operation Ganga was started, under which we had to bring back Indian students, and a 24/7 helpline was also started. A Twitter handle by the name of Operation Ganga helpline was also OP Ganga helpline was also started, in which you can see that 24/7 control centers are set up to assist in the evacuation of Indian nationals through the borders crossing points with the countries of Hungary, Poland, Romania and Slovak Republic. Very importantly, for prelims, have a map, digital map, see all the countries which I have mentioned over there. Very specifically, do go through the map of Europe. Now, Ukraine's importance has increased, and as you can see, the control center, the helpline number as well as the email ID has been given. Okay, so this has been done. Another, you see, India operated its first evacuating flight under Operation Ganga and brought back 219 Indians from Romania's capital Bucharest to Mumbai. After that, many students came back in batches, and Air India flights were being used to carry out the rescue operation. After that, SpiceJet, Indigo, Air India Express also joined the mission. Now, IAF, Indian Air Force, the importance of this mission is touted by two things. Union cabinet ministers have been sent to the bordering countries. Okay, very important that union cabinet ministers have been sent to the bordering countries to assist in the and to overlook and supervise at the evacuation procedure. IAF has joined. Now, as you can see, this is such an important mission. India has been doing evacuation programs since many years. Whenever there was a need, India did that. So today itself, to Romania, operation 3 IAF aircrafts, C-17 Globemaster also there. So you can see the importance of this mission. And as you can see, it is very challenging for India to get it. First of all, Ukraine has closed its airspace. Whatever countries, Poland, Belarus, Hungary, Romania, whatever countries we have to access very safely. And you see, here is Kharkiv where the student died. And then we have so many regions, very big cities. Yesterday only the advisory of the Indian government came. Whoever students are there in Kiev, please leave by whatever means you are getting. So Kiev, as you can see, then Odessa, Dnipro, Sumy, Mariupol, all the important cities which have good connectivity, they have been invaded by Russia. Now what will the students do? We are more concerned about students who are in the eastern part of the Ukraine, because that is the battleground. Here in the western side, we do not see that much of a problem. So that is why the government is saying go for Moldova, go for Hungary, Romania, Poland and all the rest of all the countries. But not Belarus. Belarus is also getting into a lot of issues now. So not only Indian students, but in Kiev, the Indian embassy is thought to be shut down and it will be moved to Lviv, which is 70 kilometers from Poland, to assist the evacuation procedure. Moving on, if we talk about the biggest challenge, safety and security of the remaining students, think about the families, think about the parents, think about the brother, sister, whoever have their relatives in Ukraine, what they must be going through. It is such a horrendous thing to think about even. And if we talk about the uncertainty of the shells, right now, airstrikes, boots on ground, everything is in Ukraine. So we do not know who is going to survive what. Connectivity issues are there, blackout issues are there because of the lack of supply of foods and groceries and water. Students will move out, of course. How horrendous the situation there is. Then an Indian team has been positioned in the Russian city of Volgorod. Now that is close to Ukrainian border. And India has experience with evacuation, that is for sure. If we talk about the experience of Kuwait airlift in 1991. Now in Kuwait airlift of 1991, approximately 2 lakh Indians were stranded when 1 lakh Iraqi army entered into Kuwait, and they were brought back in a period of 2 months. 2 lakh. We are dealing with 20,000 students. Here we dealt with 2 lakh students And for that, Air India, it registered itself in the Guinness World Record for executing the largest ever air evacuation missile. Then we also had Operation Safe Homecoming, that was from Libya, when 15,000 Indians were stranded in Libya amidst the civil war in Libya. Then we also had Operation Rahat in 2015, when there was an battle engagement between the Yemen government and Houthi rebels. Now, here Indian armed forces, it brought back the Indians that were stranded through air or seas, however it was possible. Vande Bharat mission, if you remember, the 60 lakh Indian citizens who were stranded overseas, they were brought back by seas and air because of the importance, because there was a lockdown, and because of the importance of this operation for Indian government. It was such because there was a complete lockdown. Whose responsibility was it? Government's. So government brought them back. And of course, now we have Operation Ganga. So for prelims, remember that as well. There are many impacts. First of all, there are going to be domestic and international impacts with respect to the death of the child who has passed away in the shelling. Was it his fault? Who will pay? Who is responsible? Can we really say anyone? Can we really point out to anyone who is responsible? Let's see. Then for that, in international politics also it will play, because at UNSC, India has, rightly so, abstained, because India always wants not to choose a bloc because of our non-aligned movement. And because of that policy that we have, we cannot choose a bloc. You abstain and make it clear that it's a bilateral issue. So for that, we have to understand now India is being alleged to have a fencing policy. That means it is just a sitter on the fence. It is not actually engaging with the international arena. Now, impacts on bilateral relation, that is yet to be seen, because this is a very complicated situation. We have friendly relations with Russia. Russia has stood for India time and again. Russia never wanted support from India, but Russia did want that India or any other country should abstain from being a part of the entire situation. So India did so. Yes, it will play out in the minds of the general public. It will play out badly. Now Russians, they might be seen as aggressors, and that's not a good thing. Gives an insight about the need for self-reliance. Very important question. What is wrong with our institution? What is wrong with our education policy when it comes to medicine, that students have to go there? Any crisis, whichever crisis we are in, be it pandemic, be it this war, it will bring out the deeper fault lines. Now it has brought out the deeper fault lines. And the world is so volatile nowadays that it is much important for us to become Atmanirbhar. Because you see, as soon as the war started, the price of fuels, price of everything will rise. It is rising. Now let's look at the question. Shedding light on the previous operations for evacuation by India, analyze how Operation Ganga is much more challenging in 250 words. Okay, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.